Hi, Rain. Hi, RC. Hi, Jal.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Kamusta naman kayo dyan?
Okay naman.
Naka-leave ka pala, Rain. Sorry naman.
Hindi, nung ano lang, pero I'm back naman na. So, okay
Ano
lang.
yung vacation or ano lang? Nagpahinga lang?
Nag-vacation kasama ang family.
Nice. Nice. Saan kayo pumunta?
Yeah. Actually, sila ang pumunta dito sa Manila. Kasi I'm from Baguio. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Para mas madali. Sila na lang pumunta dito.
Wala namang requirement, no? For them to travel?
Wala naman. Ano
Okay.
lang, doon lang sa building kung saan kasi nagsistay, kung saan ako nagsistay. May requirement silang medical
Okay, sa
certificate.
condo?
Yeah.
Kaya. Ilang days sila sa'yo?
Mga 4 days, 5 days din sila.
5 days sa umuwi na. Puno, ano siya, nag-bus, no? Or nag-drive?
Nag-drive. May sasakyan naman. So,
okay, good naman.
Yeah, oo. At least safe lang din.
Oo. Okay na. Parang okay na rin naman, no, so far. From Baguio to Manila.
Okay. Okay naman. Mabilis na din.
Na-vaccinate na yung parents mo?
Hindi pa.
Ay, bakit?
Wala pa. Ang tagal ng rollout.
Ang tagal? Ano ba yan?
True. Pero dyan ba? Na-vaccinate na ba kayo?
Ay, parents ko pa lang. First dose. Kaysa yung RC?
Sa akin, parents ko pa lang din.
First dose, no?
Social. Sa amin wala pa.
Tapos yung vaccine ko, ano yung available? Like, yung sa mami ko, Sinovac. Sa daddy ko, AstraZeneca.
Sa amin din. Pero parang okay naman yung sa, Sinovac kasi hindi sumakit katawan nila after.
Yun nga eh. Parang okay na rin kahit anong brand.
Parang 50-50 ka sa Sinovac.
Oo nga eh. Meron bang Pfizer sa atin? Wala, no?
Alam ko magkakaroon na eh.
Pati Johnson.
Dumating na. Johnson wala pa ako balita. Pfizer.
Mahal yung Johnson eh.
Pero 1 dose lang yun. Johnson,
yun nga eh. Mas maganda yun eh. 1 dose
para
lang.
tapos na.
Oo, tama na. Okay na. Para masaya na lahat. Rain, papasok tayo ng mga saktong 10. Tapos,
Hindi, 9 a.m. po.
Ay, sorry, 9. O nga pala. 9. Lagi kasi tayong 10 eh.
That's okay.
Oo, so 9. Saktong 9. Tapos, para ano na, carry na tayo.
Sige po.
Sige,
Okay.
sige. Mga ilang minutes na lang.
1 minute na lang.
Oo. Okay. Para sa ekonomiya ni RC to.
Yes.
Sige, mag-meet mo na ako, ha?
Sure.
Well, I bet you didn't think school was going to be like this, did you? Don't worry, you're not alone. We're all learning new ways of working, parenting, eating, shopping. Athletes are learning new ways to train. Musicians are learning new ways to play. Nurses are learning new ways to heal. Restaurants are learning new ways to serve. Even teachers like me are learning new ways to teach. Every single one of us is learning new ways of living and being and doing. You are. Yeah, you are. Sure, it's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. Class is in session. Don't be late. Sit in the front row. Show up ready to learn, eager to learn, yearning to learn something new. Because the difference between simply being in this moment and thriving in this moment is what we learn from this moment. No, this won't be on the test. This is the test.
Why do you belong at Centennial College? Our diversity of classes, students, and instructors offer a safe and inclusive environment where you're free to be you. As Ontario's first community college, we have over 400 program offerings and more than 1,000 pathways to advance your education. We're also one of Canada's top 20 research colleges and are proud to have over 170,000 alumni around the world. Each of our 5 campuses features state-of-the-art labs and learning facilities, conveniently spread throughout the Greater Toronto Area. The world comes to learn at Centennial. With students from over 126 countries, Centennial is one of the most culturally diverse post-secondary institutions in Canada. As every student's aspirations are different, we offer various pathways to help you achieve your unique educational goals. Take advantage of our holistic approach to student success with specialized training opportunities. And be sure to utilize our student services and supports to assist you with everything you need to succeed. Come see why futures begin at Centennial College. Come see why you belong.
Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Miss Nisa.
Okay, thank you so much. And yes, again, good morning, everyone. This is a very nice turnout, especially for Centennial College. So it goes to show that Centennial is always the #1 choice for Filipinos whenever they are looking for an opportunity to study overseas, especially in Ontario. So I see a lot of people coming from different places, from Baguio, Caloocan, Dapitan, and Zambales. Good morning to everyone.
Yeah,
Okay.
indeed. Good morning. I was just telling you earlier, I'm from Baguio. So naimbag na aldaw pa niya
Yes.
yung amin dita, Baguio. So I'm hoping that you're having a wonderful day, everyone. So yeah, please proceed, Miss Nisa.
Yes, okay. So of course, with me is Rain from MSA. So they are hosting us this webinar. So my name is Nisa from Apply Board. And of course, we have with us RC from Centennial College. Some of you may have met him already. And thank you, Rain, for hosting this event, this 24-hour processing event. So before we proceed with the presentations for today, so let's do a bit of housekeeping. So make sure when you enter the room, your mics are on mute. If you want to keep your camera on, it's also fine. But to make sure that your connection is stable, please keep your cameras off throughout the session. But you are encouraged to open your mic if you wanna address your question directly to Rain of MSA or RC of Centennial, or you can use the chat box to type in your question. So anything goes, any question that you need to clarify, or you have some specific questions specifically for Centennial or MSA, feel free to type them in the chat box. Okay, so how we go about for today is we will start with RC of Centennial to present basically Centennial College, their programs, and why are they the number one choice of Filipinos when it comes to studying in Canada. And of course, after RC, we will proceed with Rain for MSA Immigration in terms of how to work with them should you decide to proceed with Centennial. Of course, without further ado, RC, ready when you are.
Thanks, Nisa. Let me just share my screen. I think I can share my screen yet. Okay, there. Okay, so let me just.
Okay, it's.
Let me just change that. Okay, there you go. Okay, so hello everyone again. Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Is my screen sharing already?
It was earlier, but I believe there was a problem with the format, but let's see.
Okay, there
we go. Okay, ready when you are.
Okay, so before I begin, let me just start by sharing a very short video to give you an idea of what it's like to study at Centennial College.
Think of a place you want to be, a place you belong. It's a step up, a step forward, a statement, a strategy. It's where dreams take flight, where the fire burns hot, more than 50 years strong, but built for today. Focus on the horizon of tomorrow. Inclusion, equity, citizenship, the real world and our world. We think harder, reach higher, live local, study global. We unlock doors and change the direction of our minds. Education without borders, global citizenship, equity, and social inclusion are the values. From hundreds of cultures and 80 languages, we stand together, focused on a stronger future. We live to laugh, we love to play. We rise with the sun and reach for the stars. From court case to aerospace, searching and researching. We break the mold and find a better way. It's a commitment to ourselves and a promise to others. Centennial, you belong.
Okay, so that pretty much gives us an idea of what it's like to study at Centennial College. So that's the first thing that I usually like to show aspiring students. If you notice in the video, the students are not just sitting in the classrooms all day. So we really do our best to provide them with the facilities, laboratories, and of course, industry partnerships so that they really get to enjoy a hands-on learning experience even while they are still in the college. Okay, so you can pretty much expect that across all of our more than 160 full-time programs. So Centennial College is located in Ontario. It's home of one of the largest Filipino communities in Canada. It's also the most populous province in Canada as well. And we are specifically located in Toronto. So Toronto is the business and financial capital of Canada. So it's usually where people want to go if they want to look for jobs or further expand their careers. In fact, even within Ontario alone, about 50% of its population is living within the greater Toronto area. So that's just how big the opportunity is in terms of work and career in Toronto. It's often compared with other financial capitals like New York, for example. If you also look up rankings and index online, you would definitely always see Toronto making the list as one of the best places to live or one of the most livable cities. Currently, Toronto is also the fastest growing tech hub in North America, and it has generated over 80,100 tech jobs in 2019 alone. And that's why there's really a lot of opportunities right now in terms of career and work in Toronto. I think right now it's already the third largest tech hub, and it's really growing at a fast rate. Also, Toronto is also very culturally diverse. Even our institution itself is known to be one of the most culturally diverse institutions in Canada. We have students coming from over 150 countries since 2010, and we currently have about over 13,000 international students enrolled. And in Toronto itself, about 50% of the people living there are not born in Canada. So that's just how culturally diverse it is. If you want to meet people coming from different countries, that's very easy to do. And if you miss being with fellow Filipinos, that's also the great thing. It's very easy to do as well, since about 8 to 10% of our international student population are Filipino international students. Also, we are a designated learning institution, so you are eligible to work part-time while you are studying. If you're planning to bring your spouse with you, they can also work full-time. And of course, you can also bring your dependents. But if you want to have an idea as to how much you can potentially earn while you are studying, here's just a glimpse of the minimum wages in Canada. In Ontario, it's around 14 Canadian dollars. And usually our students are earning around the minimum wage while they're still doing part-time jobs. So you can pretty much have an idea, 14 Canadian dollars and 20 hours per week. But take note that you can also work full-time during scheduled breaks. And of course, once you finish your program and you're already on your post-graduation work permit, you can already apply for full-time jobs, which opens up a lot more opportunities for you. Take, for example, one of our students, the first full-time job that she landed after graduating from our business school, she was already earning around 30 Canadian dollars per hour. So that's more than double the minimum wage. And there's a lot more opportunities that's also gonna be available to you once you're already capable of working full-time. Okay. So these are our campuses. All of them are located within the Greater Toronto area. Our main campus is our Progress campus. It's the home of our School of Business, Hospitality, Tourism, and Culinary Arts, and some of our engineering and applied sciences. It's located around Scarborough, so that there's usually a lot of fellow Filipinos living there as well. So you can pretty much expect to be in this campus if you have those backgrounds and we really get about 60 to 70% of our students in our main campus. So you might have seen a glimpse of the campus already in the video I showed earlier. So we really provide a lot of amazing facilities and equipments and laboratories for our students. Take, for example, our culinary management students. We have our very own cafe and restaurant inside the campus where they really get to operate it, and they're guided by industry professionals and professional chefs. So those are just some of the hands-on learning experience that we provide. We also have the event center and guest suites, and included in the program, we also make sure that our students have work integrated learning or field placements, which gives them industry experience with one of our industry partners while they are still studying. So it's really one of the ways that we do to close the gap between the academe and the industry. At Centennial Progress Campus, this is also where we have Centennial Place. This is our on-campus housing or on-campus residences for our students. You can visit the full website or the full details at our website at centennial-place.ca. But just to give you a glimpse, this is pretty much what it looks like. It has fully furnished rooms, a lot of amazing amenities and learning spaces as well. It's very convenient, especially if you're studying in Progress campus. You get to just walk to your classroom every day, and in the ground floor, like we saw here, you can see that's our cafe and restaurant. So that's where our culinary students are usually doing their most of their subjects, especially the hands-on ones. And although it's a bit more pricey compared to off-campus housing options, but it's still worth considering since in terms of convenience. At Centennial Place, it's gonna cost you at least 1,000 Canadian dollars per month per student. But if you want to look for more affordable options, we can also help you look for that. We have a Facebook group right now for international students where there are regular postings of places you can stay in. The last time I checked, I saw one for as low as 350 Canadian dollars per month. Of course, it's gonna vary, really depends on the lessor. And then there's also a lot of websites that we will be providing you as well, where you can browse your housing, some housing options. Okay, and in our Story Art Center campus, where we have our creative programs. So if you have a creative passion that you want to pursue, we would most likely have it here. Later, I'm going to be highlighting some of the programs, but this pretty much gives you a glimpse of the amazing equipments and facilities that our students get to use as well. In the video earlier, you might have noticed the studio and where they're doing most of the subjects as well. That's because that's where we have most of our programs in under this campus is doing, okay? And a lot of laboratories as well, and equipments for the students to use to really bring out their creative talents, okay? And in our Ashby campus, where we have our School of Transportation, this used to be the home of our aviation aerospace programs, but Toronto has been really growing in terms of tourism, especially before the pandemic. We have been receiving over 40 million tourists every year. And of course, we are a publicly funded college regulated by the Ministry of Education. So we also do our best to keep up with the demands of the province or the city itself. And since tourism was growing, along with that, aviation was also growing. And we really saw that there's room for expansion for our aviation airspace. That's why just in January 2019, we opened our newest campus, the Downsview campus. So it's mostly for aviation airspace programs. The college heavily invested in this, just as we do for all of our campuses. We really make sure that we can provide our students the best and the industry at par with the industry standard in terms of the equipments and facilities that they will be using. That's why for this college, we actually invested over $70 million into its development. And we have industry partners, including Bombardier Aerospace, KF Aerospace, and Transport Canada helping us with our programs here as well. And in our Morningside campus, where we have most of our programs under the School of Community and Health Studies, some of the popular options include early childhood education, personal support worker program. We also have 2-year programs if you want to get 2 to 3 year PGWP. Some popular choices include our pharmacy technician program, massage therapy program. We also have office administration - health services and recreation and leisure services, which is also a 2-year program. And that's a program that has subjects similar to gerontology. So usually if I have a student with a health background, especially usually they usually have a nursing background. We do have nursing programs to offer, but unfortunately they're currently not open or available to international students. So usually our students will first take any of the programs I mentioned earlier. Some of them opt to take the 1-year personal support worker program. And then once they finish that program and they already receive permanent residence status, that's the moment where they can decide if they really want to pursue nursing. They can still take it with us. That's gonna be 4 times more affordable if you're already a domestic student. And yeah, that's pretty much the pathway right now that most of our students take. Later on, I'm going to be sharing a video where one of our students started studying first personal support worker program, but now he is already a practical nurse. We are also the oldest and one of the largest publicly funded college in Ontario. So over the years, we are really able to develop our facilities, teaching, and industry partnerships for our students. Just to give you an idea, these are some of our more than 800 program advisory committee member organizations. Aside from being our industry partners, they also help develop our curriculums and programs. So that's also another way that we make sure that whatever you're going to be learning is going to be relevant to the industry that you're eventually going to work in. Because the subjects that you are studying was basically developed by some of your potential employers. And not only do they help us develop our programs, but they also provide our students with a lot of amazing opportunities like field placement, co-ops, and we actually have the Employment Resource Center or our career services who can help connect you with these companies as well if you are ever having a hard time looking for jobs. But based on our experience, since we are located in Toronto, our students don't really have a lot of problem looking for part-time and full-time jobs. Okay. You might be familiar with a few of these as well, including Google, Samsung, Ford, Red Cross, or you might be familiar with most of these schools as well. I mean, most of these industry partners. Currently, we have 7 schools with over 160 full-time programs available. I'm just gonna be highlighting a few of our programs, but if you want to browse the full list, they're all available in our website. But of course, that's why we have partners here who can also help you look for the right program for you and help you narrow down your choices as well. Start with a business school. If you have a business background or you have a business that you are currently running, we definitely have a program for you since we have a little bit of everything. We have programs in marketing, finance, accounting, logistics, HR. In the business school, we also have paralegal programs as well, fashion design, and a lot of amazing postgraduate programs as well. One of our most popular is our Global Business Management program. It's a 2-year postgraduate diploma. And if you're looking for something similar to MBA, this is the best that we have to offer. If you look at the subjects in our websites, it's pretty much the same as to what you would expect an MBA program would have. And the amazing thing is if you eventually want to pursue having an MBA abroad, we have industry partners that can credit the units that you took in our Global Business Management program so that it can help you finish your MBA in less than a year. Okay. So usually the reason why we don't have MBAs because that's often offered in universities, and for us colleges, we mostly focus more on post-secondary and postgraduate programs. Under the School of Communications, Media Arts, and Design, we also have, these are the creative programs that I was mentioning earlier that's going to be available in our Story Arts Center campus. So we have a lot of creative programs to choose from. If you're a graphic artist here, we have the graphic design program. If you're more of a traditional artist, we have the fine arts program. We also have programs in film, journalism, photography, public relations. So most programs of under those industries are usually what we have to offer under this school. And of course, one of our most popular schools, School of Hospitality, Tourism, and Culinary Arts. We pretty much have a little bit of everything here as well. We have culinary, baking, hospitality, tourism, events planning, or events management, and one of our most popular program here is our hospitality-hotel operations management. This program alone received almost 1,300 enrollments from our winter 2019 intake. And winter is not even our strongest intake. We get about 60% of 70% of our students in our fall intake. So there's a lot of students really interested in this one. I even get hundreds of applications from the Philippines for this program. And the next most popular here would be our culinary management. And under the School of Engineering, Technology, and Applied Sciences, like I said earlier, Toronto is currently the #1 fastest growing tech hub in North America. There's plenty of jobs available for programs under this field. One of our most popular here is our biotechnology programs. It's running out of seats pretty quickly, so I'd recommend applying as early as possible. And as long as you have an engineering and applied science background, we pretty much have a program for you. We have computer systems and networking technology and software engineering, which is popular among IT graduates. We have automation, robotics, cybersecurity, game programming, architecture, and if you're a civil engineer, we also have construction management and mechanical engineering and electrical engineering programs as well. Okay, and right now this is pretty much a glimpse of the top 30 programs we have for international students. This is based on January 2019. And like I said, hospitality-hotel operations management is really a popular choice among our students. You might notice in this list that it's mostly under the business school, hospitality and engineering programs. That's because for our other programs, especially the School of Community and Health Studies, we don't really offer a lot of seats. That's why it's really good if you have all your documents ready and apply as early as possible. And in terms of program delivery, right now, it's mostly online or hybrid that with plans to go back to face-to-face. And the great thing is, if you already want to travel to Canada, we are a designated learning institution with an approved COVID-19 readiness plan. So our students have already traveled to Canada before the classes. For our summer intake, most of our students have already flown to Canada. And for the upcoming intake, we're still waiting on the final program delivery list because we're still waiting for public health announcement, but it will be posted on our website soon. Just take note, we also have online deliveries. It would usually have an open and close parenthesis online. If as much as possible, if you're looking for PGWP, I'll try to avoid programs under that code because we have a separate code for programs that has plans to go back to face-to-face. Because for the one that's fully online and does not have any plans to go back to face-to-face, it might not be credited towards your PGWP, and you might not get to travel to Canada. And like as Nisa said earlier, we have been the number one college choice of international students studying in Canada for the past 7 years in a row. And one of the reasons we've been able to maintain that, aside from being the oldest publicly funded college in Ontario, we have a lot of support. We provided a lot of amazing support for our international students. Just from meeting them alone, we're one of the few colleges that has that really has offices in the countries that we are representing, or where we get most of our students from. So we have over 13 international offices, including here in the Philippines. We have one in Makati, although right now I'm still working from home, so that's still closed. And after admissions, once you're already in Canada, we have amazing services like the career services, who's ready to help you from resume building to answering interviews up until looking for jobs and providing you with resources on that. So that's one of the things that we do for them. We also have success advisors who make sure that you meet your goals in Canada, especially academically. If you're ever having any problems with your classes, I highly recommend that you visit any of our success advisors because they can help you cope with the classes, even do study groups or study sessions with organized study group and study sessions of that sort. And finally, we also have the International Student Advising Team, where we have registered immigration consultants ready to assist you if you ever have any problems with your visa. If you want to extend your study permit, you want to apply for PGWP and you don't know how, and even with your permanent residence application, they do workshops on that, and you're free to book a schedule with them through our website. So these are just some of the amazing teams that we have currently helping our international students succeed and meet their goals while they are in Canada. And they're also one of the reasons why we have really maintained being the number one choice for international students in terms of enrollment for the past 7 years in a row. Although the only thing that our RCIC team or our international student advising team cannot help with is with the initial study permit application. So that's why we have partners here who you can definitely consult with. And I really recommend that you consult with, because we're not really authorized to assist with the visa application, and they will provide you with the best chances of getting your study permit approved. Among those that I know that tried to apply on our own, based on the data I have, I think only 10 to 30% succeeded with their application. And of course, we have also been the #1 college choice for Filipino international students for quite some time now. In this enrollment data, about 25% of the Filipino international students studying in Ontario chooses to study at Centennial College. So we currently have over 1,000 Filipino international students enrolled, and it's really growing. And every year it has been doubling. The only time it stopped was during the last year because of the pandemic. But right now we actually already have more applications than we did in 2019. For September, I think we already have over 1,200 applications just from the Philippines alone. And in terms of requirements, of course, you can also just consult this with our partner here, and they can help you with the application forms. And of course, they already have a copy of the requirements that we have as well. The great thing for students that studied in the Philippines is that we're already waiving IELTS. Just request a certificate of English as a medium of instruction from both your high school and your college. It's basically a document indicating that you were taught your subjects were taught in English in that school. And if you can submit that, you don't have to take IELTS or Duolingo, and just include that with the submission of your requirements. It can be followed if you're having difficulty reaching out to your school right now. And of course, we also don't have any application fees, and we're one of the fastest in terms of issuing LOAs. Like the name of this event, we have it's 24 hours processing webinar. We're one of the few colleges that can really do that. And if the maximum deadline that we currently have for our team is 24 to it's around 48 hours. So that's one of the commitments we currently decided to make this year to our students. But we currently have teams in, since there were so many applications, we currently have teams helping us process it from Canada, Vietnam, Korea, and here in the Philippines as well. So that's why we process applications pretty quickly, especially if you would submit it with our partner and your documents are complete and it's not peak application period. Okay, in terms of tuition fee, across all of our full-time programs, it's pretty much the same. It's about 16 to 17,000 Canadian dollars for 1 year or 2 semesters. So that already includes the ancillary fees. You can expect that price range for nearly all of our full-time programs, whether it's a certificate program, a diploma program, a postgraduate certificate. It's gonna be around 16,000 to 17,000 Canadian dollars for 2 semesters. And it's also looking at the International Student Barometer Survey, which is an international benchmark for international education experience. These are the amazing results that we received from 4,596 international students currently enrolled at Centennial. The results from 2019 is actually pretty much the same. As you can see, from the career services, that's the team helping our students look for jobs, and SAGE, which is our international student advising team, and our amazing faculty, learning spaces. Students are pretty much really satisfied with their services, and 96% say they feel engaged with their studies. Even with the key performance indicators, we have consistently ranked as the #1 college in the Greater Toronto area for both employer and student satisfaction. It means that our employers are happy with the students we send their way, and our students are happy with the quality of education that they receive at Centennial College. We also currently have a partnership with Philippine Airlines. This is still available for September. For January, I'm still trying to negotiate with them if we can all extend it, but it's pretty easy to avail. Just email pal_corporate pal.com.ph. You just have to send them your student visa approval, letter of acceptance at Centennial College, and then they will already be giving you a promo code that you can use to have a discounted booking when you book up through the Philippine Airlines website. If you're planning to travel with your spouse and dependent, so maximum of 2 companions is allowed, they can also avail the same promo. Just have them send their proof of relationship. Okay. And one last thing I'd like to share before we proceed to the Q&A later on. This is a video of our Filipino international students currently studying or have graduated at Centennial College.
I'm a registered practical nurse.
So this is actually the student that I was talking about earlier who took personal support worker program first, and then once he got PR status, he's now taking practical nursing, or I think he already finished practical nursing.
Here in Canada, but I also work part-time as a PSW, personal support worker. Centennial College has helped me in many ways. It has helped me improve my communication and my people skills as well. Staff and professors are really approachable. You can really feel their sincerity in helping the students and making each student succeed in life. I met a lot of people online. They're asking questions about how to get to Canada as a student. I am really happy that we have an office in Manila to cater those who are interested in coming here as a student. Canadians in general are very nice, friendly, and happy people. And also, people here just love to celebrate. And I think that's one way that Filipino people can relate to very much, because here, celebrations are everywhere.
I graduated from Community and Child Studies Foundations with honors, I'm proud to say. And now I am on my 3rd semester of early childhood education program. Canada is a country that embraces diversity. Everybody's culture and tradition is being celebrated.
I'm currently working as a junior accountant in a tax accounting firm. I really recommend Centennial College as an institution here in Canada, especially in Toronto. They have a lot of facilities that can help you develop your skills, abilities, not just focus on studying. Actually, I had a hard time choosing for my program. They offered a lot of good programs that will make you experience way beyond your profession or way beyond your skills.
I've always wanted to study abroad. It has been my dream to come to Canada. I came to study at Centennial College because my sister came here and she got the job that she wanted with the help of Centennial College. While I was a student, I volunteered at the business school where I got to develop my skills and confidence and developed a good relationship with my teachers. I also got to work with the field placement officer at the business school. We were able to create the field placement app for the students and employers to use throughout the field placement journey. I have gained so much confidence with myself, and I got a job from my placement, which is a part of my program here at Centennial College.
For those aspiring students, welcome to Canada and welcome to Centennial College.
I'm looking forward to seeing more Filipinos to come here, to get to live here, to study here, and make it their own home away from home.
Mga kababayan naming Pilipino, we are encouraging you to come and visit Centennial College Makati office.
Okay, so that pretty much wraps up my presentation. I'll be here to answer any of your questions later on if you have it. Okay.
Okay, thanks so much, RC. So again, for everyone, if you have some friends who are unable to join us today, we are actually live on Facebook. So just look for MSA Immigration and like their page, and you'd be able to share this live feed to your friends who's interested to study in Canada, specifically for Centennial College. Okay, so now let's move on to Rain of MSA Immigration. So they are the host of this webinar. So Rain, ready when you are.
Yes, thanks, Miss Nice, and thank you, RC, for that wonderful presentation. So, Jadu, can you please share my my slides, please? All right. So while we're waiting for my slides, I would like to remind everyone that we do have what we call a thank God it's Friday for our participants for our webinars. So please take a screenshot of you attending this webinar, and also take a screenshot of you liking our page, that's MSA Immigration, and send it to the email that we will be later on be sending here through the chat. And you might win you might win Grab credits. So we will be choosing people who actually submits their entry, and yeah, basically you will be winning a Grab credit. It's basically like a thank you for attending this webinar that we are hosting. All right, so okay, so just a quick introduction. So my name is Reina Roberto. I'm an education counselor, and I just want to give like an introduction on who MSA is. So next slide, please. All right, so a little bit background about the company. We actually started off as we were formerly known as Australian Dream Visa. So was founded by our principal, and recently we rebranded. It's because we have expanded our services to Canada as well. So we rebranded into MSA Immigration. So our main office is located in Perth, Western Australia, and we have a regional office here located in Ortigas here in Pasig City. So basically what we do is that we cater to clients who are interested to pursue their studies in Canada and in Australia. So we offer both countries, but of course for today's topic, we will be focusing on Canada. All right, so next slide, please. So, all right, so basically what is, or a little bit like information about Canada. So why should you go and study to Canada? Next slide, please. All right, so here are the best reasons for studying in Canada. So aside from what RC has mentioned earlier about this, the student support, the location and jobs availability in Toronto, basically this is the general information on why is Canada, or what are the best reasons for you to study in Canada. So the first reason, and I think the also best reason for studying in Canada, is that it's ranked first in the world for countries with the best quality of life. So when we say quality of life, basically we're looking at economic stability, infrastructures, and of course, what do you call this? Good health policies. All right, so aside from that one, Canada's education system ranks amongst the best in the world, with tuition fees in Canada are some of the cheapest actually in all English speaking countries. So as I mentioned earlier, we are also catering for Australia, and I can attest to this, that some of the tuition fees in Canada are one of the cheapest in the world. All right, so it's also known for its healthy and safe communities, of course, and they have also very friendly and very diverse group of people in Canada. So it also has access to world-class education, or Canadian college and university diplomas are recognized all around the world. So basically, after you graduate, you won't just be able to use your qualifications in Canada. So for example, you are looking at pursuing further goals elsewhere, definitely you can use your qualification in Canada as to your advantage, okay? As I also mentioned earlier, that they are I am multicultural country, and it is also actually a bilingual country, which makes studying an excellent opportunity to develop, of course, your language and communication skills. Next slide, please. Hold on. All right, so basically, here are some of the invention that the world is like making use of, so such as cardiac pacemaker, prosthetic hand, telephone, snowmobile. So why do we say this? So it means it's because well, Canada is a very innovative and a very research also based country. So whenever like you are into these type of or you can actually expand your creativity and innovativeness when you go and study in Canada. And who knows, you might be one of those people who would make an impact to the world. All right. So another good reason about studying in Canada is you can actually work 20 hours per week and full-time during vacation. That's one of your work rights. So it's basically like a study, work and leave program in Canada. So while you're studying, you can work and of course enjoy the benefits of being an international student. Being an international student in Canada. And also you have the possibility to work in Canada after your studies. So there you go. So next slide, please. So, okay, so we at MSA, we actually give you the assistance on processing your enrollments and your visas, all right? So, for example, you're interested to take a very specific course at Centennial, we will be doing the assistance, or we will be like your middleman for Centennial College. All right, so basically here are the steps. So we have simplified it for you guys so you would be able to understand it. All right, so basically the first step is counseling and initial assessment. So for each and every one of you, of course, you have different backgrounds, you have different education, qualifications, and of course, some of you might already have also employment backgrounds. So we will be assessing depending on your qualifications. So we will be able to identify which program does fits you perfectly. All right, so that's the reason why it's also very important that you guys should book actually an appointment with us so we can give you a more thorough explanation on the processes, the requirements, the cost, and everything. So basically, that's what we do at the counseling and initial assessment. So basically, after this one, and for example, you have decided into what school you're going to take and and what course are you going to take, we will enroll you now to a course and school of your own choosing, but of course with our guidance. All right. So let's say you have already enrolled to a school. The next step would be paying tuition fees and other payables. So later on, we will be explaining like what are the costs that you should be considering before going to Canada and what are the other requirements that you should be processing. And of course, once you have pay your fees and other payables, we will be lodging your visa. All right. So next slide, please. So just a big, just to remind you all that there are two streams actually for applying for a student visa to Canada. So the first one is the student direct stream and the other one is the regular stream. So these are two different things. So, okay, so just to explain it a little bit, or to explain it in a nutshell, basically a student direct stream is a faster visa process. However, IELTS is required. So for example, even if you're enrolling at Centennial College and they will not be requiring your IELTS, but you decide to get or to lodge your visa through a student direct stream, then you still need to submit your IELTS. There's no show money. However, you still need to submit what we call to get what we call a guaranteed investment certificate, or basically it's like opening a bank account in Canada and deposit 12,000 Canadian dollars into that account and pay your 1 year tuition fees upfront. So basically mas mahal siya as compared, but of course for people who have tawag dito has issues in terms of like getting yung mga documents nila for show money. So I think this is the path or the stream that's for you. All right, so the second stream is the regular stream. So there's a regular processing time. You won't be needing to submit your IELTS. Cheaper fees usually is to be paid because usually only have to pay one term. It's not like direct stream that you have to pay 1 year upfront. And however, show money is required with bank statements with 3 to 6 months bank history. All right, so next slide, please. So what are the requirements of a student direct stream? So sa student direct stream muna tayo ha. So basically, ang requirements natin would be your resume, passport, academic credentials, certificates of employment, birth certificate, NBI study plan, English exam result, and of course, if applicable, you'll also need to submit your med certificate and professional license. If you are going to book with us an online consultation, we will be giving you a complete list and of course, like a breakdown of your expenses per se pagka pupunta kayo ng Canada. And aside from that, ito yung ating requirements. So I've mentioned earlier, there's no show money. However, you need to get what we call a guaranteed investment certificate. So like I've said earlier, yung 12,000 Canadian dollars. Yung 12,000 Canadian dollars na yon, you will be able to use that once you arrive in Canada. However, you can only withdraw 1/12 of that amount each month. Okay? So basically parang 1,000 Canadian dollars lang siya per month, parang ganon. And so even if I said kanina na walang show money, usually walang history na required, they will still, or the case officer will still need to see how did you have an app or how did you come up with the funds that you invested on your GIC. So basically, you'll still need to submit your source of fund, affidavit of support. If, for example, you have a sponsor, proof of your relationship with your sponsored and your sponsor's valid ID. Okay, so these are the supporting documents for your GIC. Next slide, please. So ito naman is the breakdown of your approximate fees. So like I've said earlier, for a student direct stream, you'll have to pay upfront na 1-year tuition fee. So I have based actually the tuition fee on Centennial College's tuition fee earlier, and I have converted it into 39.5. So this is just an approximate. Again, as you can see here, please be reminded that this is just this computation is based on approximate cost lang with varying factors such as, of course, yung school fees, dollar exchange rate, and etc. So for example, mga bank charges later on. So again, first year's tuition fee, medical insurance, health insurance, medical examination, visa fee, airfare, biometrics, English test, and of course your GAC, which would have you a total of around 1,063,800. So this is if you decide to go under the student direct stream. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so for the regular stream, as you can see here, you'll parang medyo same siya ng requirements. However, here, as you can see, we have resume, passport, academic credentials, certificates of employment, birth certificate, study plan. Ang pinakaiba is, of course, as you can see here, you won't need to do the GIC and no IELTS required. Let's say if you're going to Centennial, you'll only need to submit the English as a medium of instruction or communication certificate. So yon, and of course, again, if applicable, professional license and marriage certificate. Sorry, hindi siya napalitan. Sorry. Hold on. Dito sa financial requirements natin, sorry. No worries, guys. If you will be setting like an appointment with us, we will give you like the corrected one. So here, you will be or showing a bank certificate with the 3 to 6 months history, as I mentioned on an earlier slide. So yung computation later on, we will show that to you guys. The source of funds, affidavit of support, proof of your relationship with the sponsor, and sponsor's valid ID. So next slide, please. So this is the sample, again, computation of expenses if you're going through the regular stream. So usually you will only have to pay for your first term, which is on average is around 285, and health insurance 24,000, medical examination 8,000, visa fee 6 for airfare 40,000, biometrics fee 3,400. So which parang ang total niya is around 366,800. Again, varying cost po yan. So if, for example, you're bringing a family with you, of course, the cost will be different by then. All right. So next slide, please. So, ito naman is the computation if you're going to like show yung 6 months history or 3 to 6 months bank history that I was telling you earlier. So the computation goes like this. So you have to compute for the first year's tuition fee, which is around 570,000 in peso. 1 year cost of living, that's around 400,000 pesos. Two-way airfare, 80,000. So ang total na dapat na nag-reflect in your bank certificate or bank statement, sorry, would be around 1,050,000 in peso. So basically, every end of the month, dapat hindi mas mababa sa ganitong amount yung balance niya, by the end of each month. So basically, that's how you compute yung show money po natin. So yun. So again, a show money basically yun is just a money to show you. Don't bring out that amount, but it's basically just only financial documents that you have to prove that you have an access to a fund while you're living in Canada and studying in Canada. All right. So I just also wanted to share you guys some other additional information. So as you might have already know that the Canadian government allows essential travel and must do some steps to ensure, of course, safety amidst the ongoing pandemic caused by COVID-19. So student visas are also considered as an essential travel. So you guys can actually fly to Canada for your student visa. All right. So ano ba yung steps natin or what should we consider before flying to Canada for your student visa? Okay. So find out, of course, if the education provider is a designated learning institute. So basically, if yung designated learning institute, and then of course you have to attain a release form and declare letter of authorization from the school that you can actually fly out to Canada. And of course you have to, number 2, you have also to secure an accommodation and self-isolation plan. So before you go, you have to write down how are you going to quarantine, how are you kumbaga, saan kayo mag-accommodate, saan nyo ibubook yung accommodation niyo for your self-isolation or your quarantine plan. You will also need a negative COVID-19 test result valid for 72 hours for your flight to Canada. Usually, you'll have to check with your airline kung ano ang requirements nila before you board for your flight for Canada. Aside from that, you also have to download the ArriveCan app. All right? So, the ArriveCan app basically is an app wherein you can update yourself, your mga symptoms, and of course yung any details that you have to upload on the app. Okay? Aside from that, you also have to submit yung travel and contact information, quarantine plan, COVID-19 symptoms, yun sa ArriveCan. And of course, you have to follow your quarantine protocols, and then you can attend your classes. So basically, sorry. Okay. So yon. Yes, Miss Trisha, do you have any questions po? All right. So yon. So I hope that you could post in your questions on the chat box for later so we can answer them. All right. Next slide, please. So yeah, I think that's it from my end. So anyway, you can book your appointment with us so you will know which program does fit you and ano ba yung mga specific na gastos. Like for example, if you're bringing your family or yung specific course, because some courses might have different tuition fee as compared to others. So yon basically ang masasagot namin if you do a one-on-one consultation. So it's very important, guys, for you to book that consultation. All right, so thanks everyone. So maybe we could proceed now to the question and answer portion. Okay, Miss Naisa.
All right, okay, so we have a lot of questions in the chat box, so we'll get right to it. So for the first one, it's for RC. So regarding courses mentioned about health, I'd like to ask if medical technology is available and if international students can apply for it. If not, what are the other alternatives?
Currently, our medical education program is not offered to international students, but we do have biotechnology programs that students with this kind of backgrounds usually apply for. And like I said earlier, it's running out of seats pretty quickly, so I'd recommend applying as early as possible. It's one of our
Yeah.
most in-demand programs right now.
Okay. So you are still open for September 2021.
The nearest is for that program, it's for January, although we're still open for September for other programs.
Okay, so for other programs that are almost in demand, high in demand, is open for September 2021, but the rest of the popular programs, January 2022 na siya. All right. Okay, so next is top of mind, RC again, top of mind. What programs, what two-year programs are very popular with Centennial?
Two-year program, definitely the number one is our hospitality-hotel operations management. Biotechnology is also a two-year program. It's also very popular among our students. And of course, our business marketing or any of our business-related programs that are 2 years is also very popular.
Okay, so this next question, I'm going to give it to RC first, and then I'll go to Rain for the other half of this question. So I'm currently enrolled online in an American university studying applied tech. Can I apply and study in Canada, as I am currently studying in American university? So, okay, so let's start with RC first.
For us, definitely, as long as you meet the academic requirements, you can apply to any of our programs. For most of our post-secondary programs, the minimum requirement is either you are a K-12 graduate or you are from the old curriculum plus at least 2 years in college or university, and you can pretty much apply to any of our post-secondary programs. For postgraduate, however, it might require you to submit a resume as well, so that if you have enough relevant work experience in the field, you can get admitted to the program, also for fast tracks.
All right. Okay, for Rain, so not only she's in a different university, she's also in a different country. So US, how can MSA be able to assist her in terms of transitioning from US to Canada? You're on mute?
I think you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on mute. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it depends if you already have a visa. So it's kind of like complicated if she has an existing visa, like for example in US. However, if it's like an online and you're in the Philippines, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Like for example, if you want to like lodge a visa to Canada and study that course online. But of course, again, like I've said, if you have other visa and it's gonna be a quite complicated process if that's the case. But yeah, basically, if you don't have other existing visa, I think we can just process okay.
Yeah, but I guess also for the details of this one, it's best that they set an appointment with you, Rain, no?
Yes.
So
yes.
they can discuss it fully, especially your travel history and visa history.
Yes,
okay.
That's true.
All right, thanks so much. Next is for RC, scholarships. You're on mute as well.
Sorry. For scholarships, we don't have any scholarships as of the moment, but we do provide a lot of merit-based scholarships, which you can apply for once you are already our student. So usually you would use your grades from the previous semester to apply for this. I sent a link in the chat of all the current scholarships that we have to offer.
All right. Okay, so in terms of financial support, there are options when you land in Canada as well. So you might heard of this from your relatives. If you have relatives in Canada, it's called a line of credit. So it requires you to be in Canada. So I would suggest you set an appointment with MSA or explore your options as well. But make sure that whatever you see in the forum, especially the Canadian immigration forums on Facebook, take it like a grain of salt, and you can discuss those insights with Rain and her team at MSA. So at least you're well informed, and when it's about time for you to lodge your visa application, then there will be no surprises. Okay, but of course you can't ask RC on the visa because he can only advise you for programs but not visa. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think this next question is for Rain. So bank statement, must it be in the name of the principal applicant, or it could be in the name of a parent, guardian, or sponsor?
You can have a sponsor, as I've mentioned earlier. It doesn't have to be under your own name, but of course, it does help if you have your own money. Your sponsor, though, they have to show yung mga documents that we have presented or we have flashed earlier. And then they have to give yung supporting documents such as the affidavit of support, your proof of your relationship with that person, their IDs, and of course, yeah, basically their financial documents. So yon
and basically the relationship as well.
Yeah, and yes, and as much as possible, if yung magiging sponsor nyo or your sponsor should be a close relative, because it's hard to prove your relationship with another person if parang, for example, a friend, ganyan. So it's going to be hard to actually prove that to the embassy or to that Canada Immigration.
Okay, so if they have a sponsor or a guardian financing their studies, would it be advisable if they bring their spouse, their partner, or kids as well?
It depends. Kasi kung, because you have actually to prove that you also have funds actually for your, what they call this, your dependents. So you can bring them if you can actually prove that they can also, or you guys can survive or support your studies, and like yung cost of living and airfare ninyo. So yun.
Especially if their kids are young and not yet going to school. So you have to prove that someone will be left with them, because in Canada, you can't leave your kids on their own. You have to be with an adult. Okay. All right. Next question is for RC. So I just want to ask, what are the options for a teacher who wants to study in Centennial?
For teachers, they usually like to take our early child education program, or either a program related to the subjects that they are teaching.
All right. And what about for someone? So now we came from US, now Australia naman. So someone who studied in Australia in terms of hospitality and business management, can they also take hospitality, or would you recommend a different program? RC.
Sorry, what program did he take?
Diploma in Hospitality and Business Management.
Yes, definitely. Actually, when it comes to looking for a program, you can take any of our programs as long as you meet the academic requirements. However, for visa-related purposes, I recommend taking a program that's at least related to your educational background, professional background, or a business that you or your family may have. So it's going to be easier for you to justify it in your visa application.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
okay. Yes, RC, go ahead.
But I think based on the program he took, I think he can take our hospitality programs.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the content as well. Like what did she already study in Australia, and what will be new for her in Canada?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So does this mean do you credit some of the courses if there's an overlap or similarities, RC?
They can apply for it, but based on our experience, it's often not credited, and sometimes it only affects their schedule and their PTWP. So it might be best to, if you want your experience to be credited, you can apply for a fast track program instead.
I see. All right. Okay, this one is for Rain. Consultation one-on-one. Is it free or has payment?
It's actually free. All student visa consultation is free. So just book into the link that we have sent here on our chat box earlier. And so it's free. Don't worry, guys. So we can give you as much information as possible. And we will be helping you all throughout that.
All right. Okay. So actually working with someone like MSA Immigration helps you in terms of having direction not only for programs, but also for visa and immigration pilots as well. All right, next question is for RC. I think the answer here is quite obvious, but I'm just going to throw it out. So please help me regarding my status in Centennial. I was enrolled in Centennial last 2018, but I did not continue my visa application. If she decides to pursue Centennial again, is her partial payment still applicable? So this is 2018.
Since it's already since 2018, if you still have your student number, we can try requesting if you can still apply for a deferral. But it would have been better if you applied for a deferral when you knew that you were not going to be proceeding with it. But if you already paid the initial deposit, I'm assuming this is the initial deposit. I think at that time it's around 2,300 Canadian dollars. If you still have your student number, you can try emailing our admission team, the one who emailed you your offer, if you can still defer to intake that you plan to take and use the same funds.
All right, so that's basically us checking if it's possible. But of course, since it's 2018 already, it's really a huge gap to now, which is 2021.
It will be subject for approval, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so basically just consider you can reapply because application fee is free actually with Centennial. But of course, the question is you paid your partial payment already. So everything is subject for approval. Just email Centennial, email the person who sent you your acceptance.
Yes, I'd like also like I don't want to promise, but we already had a case like that was approved. So I would suggest really try.
So again, case to case and try. Yes. All right. Okay. Next question is also for RC. I know you already answered this, but I think this is more specific. Something about grades. Do you put weight on GPA?
For most of the programs, no, but some program coordinators for specific programs, for example, our pharmacy technician would look at your science grades, or usually they would look for subjects related to that field and look for 85, but it's really only a few programs and not really the complete GPA. They usually only look at the subjects that's related to the program you're applying for.
All right. And I think we're down to our last question of the day. This is for Rain. So Saturday consultations, are you open? You're on mute again.
Sorry na. So yun, yeah. To answer this question, our office hours is only from Mondays to Fridays. We only do like events during Saturdays. But if, for example, we do have like a special schedule, or you really want to talk to somebody on a Saturday, then please let us know in advance so we can make that special arrangement for you. So just contact us on our Facebook page and let us know so we can cater to those. But yeah, basically our office hours is from Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 5 p.m. lang po. So there you go.
Okay, so I assume this one is working Monday to Friday and only Saturdays the free time. So there's an option for online consultation, Rain.
Yes, online consultation. Again, you can book your consultations at msaimmigration.com/appointments, or follow us on our Facebook page, and you can message there. And then somebody will briefly answer you and direct you to the counselor who will be speaking to you with regards to your options. So yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for your questions, everyone. I am very happy. There's a lot of excitement surrounding this event with Centennial. Of course, the event title did say 24-hour processing, but of course, since we are going into a weekend, expect 48 hours, RC, at least.
Yes.
Yes.
And of course, Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday. Of course, this is applicable for complete application kits. Okay, so because Centennial's known for processing things fast, let's try to give them a complete set so you can receive your LOA and ultimately start planning for your visa application. And of course, don't forget we are live on MSA's Facebook, so please do share this content to your friends who's interested in studying in Ontario specifically. Okay, so I think that's it for today. So don't forget to book your session with MSA. If you wish to talk to RC more specifically on your program choices or your if you have any questions about your background, feel free to actually get in touch with MSA and they'll be happy to set it up with you and RC one-on-one consultation. Okay, and with that, I guess we are done for this morning. Happy Saturday morning, everyone. Stay safe. Wear your mask all the time.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands, and see you next event with MSA. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, RC. Thank you, Miss Nice, and thank you, everyone. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
Everyone, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.